How's it going, everybody? It is iVisual. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle versus Joey Fontaine over here in the OU tier. So I'm just going to lead off with my Tapu Bulu. It's going to be max special defense, max HP, Swords Dance, Superpower, Synthesis, and Horn Leech. Really nice Tapu Bulu. Looking at his team, he doesn't have a too good switch, and once I start Swords Dancing up, Latios not going to appreciate a +2 Horn Leech. And let me tell you, even though it does resist it, with Grass Drain up, it does a lot of damage. And plus, if he doesn't have a poison move, he's going to have a lot of trouble with Tapu Bulu. So, I went a Gliscor over here. Maybe on the off chance he would be a Flying Z Landers T. I could scout for that, but he just gets his Stealth Rocks up, and I turn out to be faster as he go for a U-turn. So I was expecting to probably want to go for a Hidden Power Ice on my Gliscor right there, maybe even a U-turn. So I bring in my Toxapex, as he actually just throws off Hidden Power Ice, which is a weird play since it wouldn't do... I mean, it'd do a lot to Gliscor, but I could just roost it off, and I don't know if you want to get your Landers T toxic, so I thought you'd switch out right there. That's why I went for the U-turn, but alright. At least I know he's going to be a bulky Landers T. That's good information. Unless it's going to be a slow Flying Z Landers. But I bring my Toxapex as I go for a Toxic, as he brought in Tapu Bulu, which is very nice to put that thing on a timer. And luckily, Poison types never miss Toxic. So that's really nice. I don't have a chance to ever miss Toxic on any Pokemon Toxapex. So I staying over here as I do have Payapa Berry. I know I can live anything that has any Psychic type attack and move. And I can see what kind of Tapu Bulu it is. That's why I wanted to do that and stay in. And also I do want to chip away at the Tapu Bulu even more with a Scald and hopefully knock it out, because Tapu Bulu versus my team, it kind of smashes it with Mega Mawile, because obviously I'm running a very bulky team. Yeah, it's not going to be looking too good if that Tapu Bulu is going to start like Calm Minding up, or if it's Z-move or something like that. I can just claim lives. So I brought him Mew, as he makes a nice double going to Landers right there, and he actually stayed in him on my Mew, which is kind of interesting because usually Mew has Ice Beam, and I could just 1-hit KO Landers. So I guess he really predicted me right there and went for U-turn, getting that nice chip off. But I really wanted a defog because I do not like Stealth Rocks on my side of the field, because bulky teams don't really appreciate hazards. So Mew is a really good defogger, getting rid of hazards. So he brought a Mawile right there. Very nice play. Expecting me to switch out right there. Very nice double on Joey's part, because obviously I don't want to stay in on a Greninja and get Dark Pulsed. So Toxapex can hopefully live one from Mega Mawile. If he does want to go for a Swords Dance, I can Scald him and maybe try and get a burn. He does have the Thunder Punch, which is a 2-hit KO, and I'm just going to pray I get that 30% chance to burn, because that'll make it Mega Mawile just like a lot easier to deal with, but unfortunately I don't get that. So I go to Gliscor over here expecting maybe a Play Rough or a Thunder Punch right there, knock off, but nope, he makes a nice play with the Ice Punch right there, which is just like, wow, very nice, Joey. Gotta give you a clap for that. That was really good. So now I go to my Mew over here, as Mew threatens out the Mawile with a Wisp. He brings in Magnezone, and burning Magnezone is really nice to chip away at it. Every little chip matters against a team like his, because Tapu Bulu, once it starts Swords Dancing up, he does not have a Horn Leech switching, like I'm telling you. So I switch out my Mew over here as I go to my Magnezone. Magnezone kind of like can deal with Magnezone, not really though, since Magnezone, if it's Calm Mind and like fighting MZ, it blows me back and it shift gears up. So Magnezone is just a problem always, since Soul Heart is just like, Magnezone is just always a problem for bulky teams, because once it gets a knockout with that Soul Heart plus as a special attack, it just snowballs through teams. So I brought in Tapu Bulu, get that Grassy terrain as he brought in Landers. I don't want to get Earthquaked. And I guess he made a nice play with that Volt Switch from Magnezone, so he gets to up the momentum. And now he goes for a U-turn, as he doesn't probably want to get Horn Leech from my Tapu Bulu, and he brings in Magnezone. But I went for the Swords Dance, I guess expecting to maybe want to stay in, just no chance he did want to. I can Horn Leech something, maybe even want to go into Latios, but he makes a nice play going into Magnezone. And if he does have Flash Cannon or even any kind of Z move, I just don't want that to happen. I don't really know what kind of Magnezone it is still. Even though Volt Switch kind of gives it away, usually there's a Soul Vest with a Volt Switch, but we'll still see. So I go to Magnezone expecting maybe a Steel move. They actually went for Hidden Power Fire, which leads me to believe he might not have a Steel move on his Magnezone, since I feel like he would have went for it right there. I do trap him with Magnet Pull, but it really doesn't matter because it does absolutely nothing with that Flash Cannon. So I'm like, yep, that is a Soul Vest. So now I'm like, alright, Landers is bulky, Magnezone is a Soul Vest, the Z mover is probably going to be Tapu Bulu, since the damage on the Side Shock from the Toxapex earlier, judging on it after Payapa Berry popped it, it wasn't Choice Spec, so I was like, okay, that probably is going to be the move. So, in comes Landers. I was expecting to maybe want to go for Stealth Rocks or Earthquake. I think he didn't get Rocks up, maybe he does, I don't know. But he actually makes a nice play going for U-turn right there. Makes sense since Grass terrain is up, Earthquake doesn't really do much, but it can KO my Magnezone from that range. So he brought in Greninja, and Greninja threatens me out the Dark Pulse. And maybe he wants to pull another double again, expecting me to maybe want to switch out. But I'm just going to go on Tapu Bulu, as Tapu Bulu can maybe deal with Mega Mawile. Not really, though. I'd probably have to switch out and sack another Pokemon if he made another double, but he makes a safe play going for Dark Pulse. If he did have Gunk Shot, though, that would be really bad, especially if he was like Life Orb or maybe Expert Belt, Ash Greninja. I don't know, sometimes I see some Ash Greninja with a Gunk Shot because it actually comes in handy sometimes versus these Tapu Bulus. Just like almost one-shots sometimes. Since Tapu Bulu is 4 times weak to poison, that kind of hinders it a lot. But when you don't run into a Pokemon with no poison moves, it can really shine, like you guys will see. So I go for a Swordsdance as he brought in Landorus. Swordsdance up again. You see that Hidden Price does absolutely nothing because we're max special defense, and Tapu Bulu is looking really scary when it starts Swordsdancing all the way up because he can't knock it out, and Tapu Bulu's massive attack with Grassy Terrain up is just gonna heal up and do some big boy damage. So he brought in Latios after a U-turn, and I just Swordsdance all the way up, baby. We're just gonna knock out some Pokemon with Horn Leeches. I don't care. Latios can maybe have Ice Beam though. It doesn't probably knock me out, I would say, and plus he does have Mega Mawile, so I know that's not Mega Latios. So I was kind of interested to see what kind of Latios it is. Turns out to be Choice Scarf. He gives me that Choice Scarf for the trick. I just Horn Leech him and 1-hit KO him. And actually giving me the Horn Leech kind of benefits me because now I'm going to be faster than Landorus, and I'm going to be kind of like a, you know, I think I'm at +5 now, or +4 now since he brought in Landorus. So I'm at +1 speed with that Choice Scarf. Now I have a lot of attack with that Swords Dances. So this is kind of like helping me out a little bit. And maybe I can outspeed Magearna too. So he brings in Magearna. That thing gets 2-hit KO'd by a Horn Leech and will burn damage. That's really nice, but burn damage doesn't really matter too much since Horn Leech still 2-hit KOs it. He brought in Landorus, gets another Intimidate, so that's his plan. He's just going to keep on intimidating me. He does live it, but he is 2-hit KO'd by it. Even after leftovers, it looks like he's 2-hit KO'd by it, so he does not want to stay in probably, since with that Choice Scarf I'm probably faster than him. So he brought in Magearna as a sack, and yeah, Tapu Bulu just went in right there. That was just amazing for me. Knocking out Latios, weakening the Landorus, and knocking out Magearna. He probably didn't want to bring in Mawile since Mawile got 2-hit KO'd as well, since Magearna got 2-hit KO'd by the Horn Leeches. So he brought in Mawile right there. Go for the Horn Leech, and I was like, what kind of Mawile is this? It has Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, and then it has Iron Hit. So I'm like, what's its last move? It got like everything. Like, it has to be Play Rough, right? It can't be Sucker Punch. If he has Sucker Punch, I'm gonna cry because then I kind of just lose this. He just has like straight up counter team Mega Mawile. So that's why I went to Magnezone, praying he doesn't have Sucker Punch, and luckily he did not. Because if he'd had Sucker Punch with that Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Iron Head style, I was like, dang, he really got me right there. But I was like guessing he would be like maybe a knockoff or maybe Play Rough, something like that, or even Swords Dance. I don't know. So he brought in Landorus on my Toxapex as I just knock him out the full switch. Now I bring my Snorlax on the Landorus as I was hoping maybe I could take 2 Earthquakes. Earthquake does do a lot of damage, but I think I could live another one. And this Snorlax is actually an interesting one. It's Normalium Z Double Edge with max attack, adamant, max HP. Now you don't see that too much, but this thing KOs mons. It's actually insane how good it is. So over here, actually U-turn, I think a U-turn, and into Greninja. I don't know, I'm blind, okay? Leave me alone. And then I go for the Breakneck Bullets, and that is gonna blow back this Greninja. As he probably was not expecting that. He was probably expecting me to be like, I don't know, some leftovers or maybe some Pinch Berry one. But since my Pinch Berry didn't pop after, you know, losing 50% of my HP, he's like, I don't know what kind of Snorlax it is. I'm just gonna switch out. Maybe he thinks I'm a Soul Vest or something. I don't know. Maybe he's like sacking Greninja. Greninja was definitely the biggest threat on his team. Like, he probably should have just sacked Landorus, I would say. I don't know. Since Tapu Lele plus Greninja is really scary versus my team. So yeah, blowing back Greninja, just knocking it out since it outspeeds everything on my team is just amazing. So now I go into my Mew, and Mew should be able to just wall the Landorus T. He can't really do too much, to be honest. Mew is running a lot of defense. It's just a bulky monster. And I'm running enough speed, outspeed Adamant Zygarde, and I think Adamant Landorus T, pretty sure, as well. So yeah, all around really great for Mew. So he just tries to Earthquake me. That's not going to do anything. And now in comes Tapu Lele, and that's where this poison damage and that skull damage comes in handy, because I go for the Ice Beam right there, do some nice little chip. And if I didn't get that Toxic off on Tapu Lele would have been a big problem. So he goes for a taunt right there, which is interesting. So that really leads me to believe Tapu Bulu is for sure going to be doing the Z move. I mean, it was obvious since, I mean, put the puzzle pieces together. What else would it be the Z move? Or maybe Greninja? I don't know. I feel like he would have went for it on something. So now I switch out my Mew over here. Don't want to get moon blasted as I go into my Toxapex and try and stall out Tapu Bulu from knocking out any of my Pokemon, as Toxic is going to rack up. He has one more turn left. So now he just Side Shocks me. I didn't really need Toxapex anymore since it gets knocked out by Earthquake. So all I really need is Mew to win the game, as Mew will just one-shot the Landorus T with Ice Beam. So down goes the Lele, and in comes Landorus T. And in comes my Mew. I guess Magnezone, I don't know. I want to switch in Magnezone to do something, I guess. But Magnezone I don't think will knock out Landorus from that range, especially if it's defensive. Max HP. So I go for a Flash Cannon, see if I can knock it out, but that is not going to happen. As down I go to the Earthquake. So at least it's a lot closer game now, since I lose another Pokemon. And now I can just bring in Mew and just one-shot it. I mean, Mew would have easily one-shotted it either way with Ice Beam, no matter what. I kind of wish I just went for an Ice Beam earlier on Landorus. That would have been amazing, because then he wouldn't have been able to intimidate me so much with Tapu Bulu, and then Tapu Bulu maybe would have one-shot everything with Horn Leech. Maybe even like Mega Mawile would go down and one-shot if I didn't get intimidated, because I'd be at like +6. I don't know. And without grassy terrain, maybe? I don't know. Because Mega Mawile was chipped as well. So whatever HP it was at, I wonder. So that was a GG to Joey. Really cool game. Like, he got some really nice plays in, but it wasn't enough for the Tapu Bulu plus the Zenith Snorlax, and just a bulky team that I have. Made by VSO, really cool team. So next game we got is versus Joey+MZ. He has a really cool team as well as Snorlax. And when I first saw his team, I was like, hey, we both got Snorlaxes. Then he has a Aerodactyl, which I'm thinking is mega. Like, all around, I like his team. He has Volcanion, some Mons you don't see, and then some standard Mons, Victini, Zygarde, and Tapu Koko. Gotta slap those standard Mons out to do something in the OU tier, because if you don't, you might as well get bopped. So I'll lead off with Magnezone, as I felt like Magnezone could maybe scare out something like Tapu Koko lead or something. Maybe I can get a free Flash Cannon if he wants to lead off with that. We let off of Aerodactyl, and I don't speed Mega Aerodactyl when I'm Choice Scarf Magnezone, so I don't want to catch an Earthquake. So I go to my Mew, which is defensive and should be able to take an Earthquake. And also, if he wants to go Stealth Rock, something like that, I can defog it, maybe get a Ice Wisp off. So he does go for Earthquake right there, kind of revealing. I mean, it's nice for hitting Heatran and stuff like that in the OU tier, maybe even Magearna, unless he has Fire Fang. He actually turns out to have Crunch on his Mega Aerodactyl, which I did not expect. So Sonic Boom over here. After the burn, I think it was a roll to knock me out next turn with the Crunch, I'm pretty sure. So I just stayed in over here, but unfortunately it knocks me out. So that kind of sucks. So yeah, Crunch, Earthquake, Mega Aerodactyl, that was another counter team. What is these counter teams? Just kidding. But still, dang. Goodbye Mew. First turns of the game. At least I burned the Aerodactyl, so that's why I brought in Gliscor, and if he does have Ice Fang, I know I can live it, even though it's 4 times weak. The burn halves his attack. So then comes Volcanion as I get Stealth Rock Stab. I really do want Rocks up versus his team, since he has a lot of Pokemon that are weak to it. Aerodactyl, Volcanion, Victini. So I bring in Toxapex on the Volcanion, see what kind of Volcanion it is. Not too sure what it is, though. Judging on the damage, it's not Specs. Maybe it's a Soul Vest, I'm not too sure. Earth Power doesn't really do too much to Toxapex. Maybe it's 2-hit KO, but I could Toxic kick the Volcanion, unless he's going to be sub, which could be annoying. But he brings in Zygarde as I try to Toxic the Volcanion, but Toxicing Zygarde is actually really nice for me, because that puts on a timer. Unless it's a rest, then oh well, that kind of sucks. But yeah, I can just kind of stall it out pretty much with like recovery moves and let it Toxic knock it out. So I go to Gliscor, as Gliscor should be able to take a Banded Zygarde, hopefully. Not really though. Maybe Banded Zygarde were to kill me, actually. That's why I should have kind of went into Tapu Bulu. But sometimes Zygarde might have Iron Tail as well, so I'm kind of scared of that. So I go for U-turn as I actually Dragon Dances up, so like, uh-oh, that's kind of scary. He's going to start boosting. So I go into Darkness, which is my Tapu Bulu, and I'm going to kind of pray that he doesn't have Iron Tail. Maybe I should scout for it and go into my Toxapex, though. Because sometimes Zygarde might have Iron Tail. But usually I would guess it's Dragonium Z to bop a Tangrowth. That's why I stayed in over here. Just looking at his team, maybe he wants to really break, like, a lure in. He probably wants to lure in Tangrowth on the Zygarde and just like bop it with a Outrage or something like that. I don't know. So in comes the Victini as I just go for Horn Leech, nice little chip, and now I bring in my Toxapex, and it turns out to be Z Celebrate Victini, which, looking at my team, does not appreciate at all, because I don't have a switch into Searing Shot and Stored Power, and maybe even Focus Blast. So Maybe Gliscor could live one, but Gliscor is chipped away by that 1,000 arrows. But luckily, Victini got that berry, Payapa Berry, and I lived the stored power. And that does still massive damage after the Payapa Berry. And then I go for the Haze and get rid of all his stats. So that stored powered is not going to be as powerful as it should be, because the more stat boosts you have, the more powerful it is. And now he has no stat boost, it only has 20 base power. And yeah, it's not going to do anything to Toxapex, since I am running a little bit of special defense as well on my Toxapex. So I go for a cover, get all the HP back, and since Victini doesn't run any other psychic moves, yeah, it's not going to do much to Toxapex. So that's really amazing for me that I have that Payapa Berry to save me a lot of the times against these psychic types. And Toxapex does what it does best, just wall Pokemon. So then comes Zygarde over here as I just try and Toxic him. I probably should have Scalded right there, but I kind of want to put him on a timer. Maybe if he went to Volcanion, I was scared of that, as Volcanion is immune to water. So I go into Tapu Bulu, hoping he still doesn't have Iron Tail. I mean, I was pretty sure he doesn't, since he switched out last time when he just dragged me and stuff. And maybe even I can live a +1 Iron Tail. Maybe, I don't know. I need to calc that. Max HP Tapu Bulu. So he just throws off the 1,000 arrows. That's not going to do anything. 1,000 arrows isn't weakened by the Grass Terrain. I think the only moves that are weakened are Magnitude, Earthquake, and something else I forgot. I think Dig? No, I don't think it is. But there's only 3 moves that are weakened by Grass Terrain, I remember. I forgot the other move though. But he brought in Victini as I go for another Horn Leech, and the Victini isn't really a threat. I just pushed my Toxapex right back in and just utterly walled the crap out of it. But he actually went for Searing Shot, and it does get a burn on me, which kind of sucks, since that chips away at me a little bit every single turn. I don't have Black Sludge, so at least Grass Terrain is helping me out a little bit, as long as they keep it up. Burn wouldn't matter. But he goes for another Searing Shot. He gets stacking his Victini since he wastes. I mean, he didn't waste it, but he kind of did waste it, since I just hazed it away and walled it. So, and down goes Victini to my skull. And yeah, the burn kind of does suck though, since it just chips away at me, like I said. In comes the Tapu Koko. Now, obviously, I don't want to take a Thunderbolt, so I'm gonna switch on to my Tapu Bulu. As Tapu Bulu is usually a switch into Tapu Koko, and you know, max special defense. What is he gonna do? Throw off a Hidden Power Ice? That's usually what Tapu Koko is best move to hit me with. But he turns out to go for an Iron Head. Maybe expecting me to switch out right there. I don't know, but hey, very nice play on his part. Like, okay, this might be like Scarf Tapu Koko with Iron Head. I've seen that before. It's dancing and stuff like that. But no, he turns out to be Brave Bird as well. I'm like, whoa, okay then, goodbye Tapu Bulu. He actually has Iron Head and Brave Bird. And yeah, I lose my Tapu Bulu, so yeah, I gotta give him the claps for that. That's pretty cool. I like that. But with no Hidden Power Ice, maybe? I don't know. I was kind of curious what his moveset, like his last 2 moves are. Turns out it's U-turn, so his last move is probably Wild Charge. And I'm like, okay, so that means he can't probably touch my Magnezone yet. And I mean, usually Tapu Koko can't really touch Magnezone ever unless they have Hidden Power Ground or Hidden Power Fire. So I actually went for Volt Switch right there. Probably should have went for Flash Cannon, because I don't know, I didn't really expect him to bring in Zygarde, to be honest, because it would have got knocked out by Flash Cannon. So I was like, wow, okay, he actually brought it in. Since I thought Flash Cannon would be pretty free there, and plus I didn't want him to bring in Volcanion, since Volcanion was kind of scary. And plus, even if he did bring in Zygarde, I have a switch in for it, which is Gliscor. And Gliscor can just Roost up and let Toxic wear down the Zygarde. But it turns out he is going to be Pinch Berry, so that kind of sucks. He gets all that HP back. But at the same time, it's not the end of the world, since, like I said, Gliscor can still take hits. And I can kind of just U-turn on him and switch out accordingly. Tapu Bulu died, so I don't have a 2-go switch it anymore. To the Zygarde. Not looking too good. I mean, I still have Mew, I guess. Mew is pretty bulky. Actually, Mew died too. Today, Aerodactyl. I'm forgetting my mons that died. Where's my switch into Zygarde? Oh yeah, now I remember. He goes for Iron Hit, Outrage, and then I switch to Magnezone because he locks himself in Outrage. And I was expecting to be Dragon MZ, but turns out he's going to be, you know, Pinch Berry. So, luckily Gliscor lives that Outrage. Now I can switch on to my Magnezone because I don't want to lose Gliscor just yet. It could be still good, maybe to Earthquake the Volcanion if it is going to be slower if he's Choice Specs. But I think he was not Choice Specs, judging on the Toxapex damage from earlier. So, unfortunately, it gets a crit right there on my Magnezone. Puts me in range of something, potentially. Maybe from the Tapu Koko. That's why I was like, dang it, maybe Wild Charge can knock me out. I don't know. So, that kind of sucked. So, that's why I just stayed in over here. Turns out he's Choice Scarf Volcanion with Earth Power. I'm like, whoa, you don't say that every day. But that's cool. At least I can bring my Gliscor as I'm immune to Earth Power since I'm a flying type. So, I know he's locked into it. Pretty sure, since Magnezone is slower than Choice Scarf Volcanion at max speed. So that's very nice. He gave me that information. brings an Aerodactyl my Gliscor. I'm like, you got that Ice Fang on deck? And you should have went for it before, because now I'm going to scout for it. Because what is this thing going to do? Ice Fang me? I mean, Stone Edge is not going to do much. That's why I'm going to Toxapex over here. But he actually turns out to have Iron Head. I'm like, oh, okay then. So he just has Iron Head and everything. I guess he really does not like DNC. Since I guess everything will get bopped by DNC, Tapu Koko, and Aerodactyl with the Iron Heads. So he goes for Earthquake, that is nothing, and I just go for some Scalds, as Scald does not knock out the Aerodactyl, since Aerodactyl, I guess, is bulky and Toxapex is really, really weak. But it doesn't really matter, since I'm going to switch out and go into my Gliscor. Since Gliscor, I expect him to probably want to go for another Earthquake, and he'll get knocked out by the burn right there. And I get that nice Regenerator with my Toxapex. So, in comes the Volcanion. I have a pretty good switch in, which is Toxapex. I wanted to keep Toxapex healthy, since it is a switch into Volcanion, and it could take an Earth Power and scout what he wants to go for. Like, if he wants to go for Earth Power, I could take one and then switch out to Gliscor or something like that. So that's why I want to keep Toxapex healthy. So he just goes for Steam Eruption. I can just wall that, and I just go for a Toxic. So he just switches out, because Steam Eruption is not going to do anything to me. So Tapu Koko is going to come in, and I'm expecting to probably have Wild Charge, so I don't want to take a Wild Charge. And also, Tapu Koko doesn't have Hidden Power Ice, which is very nice for me, since Gliscor can actually switch into a physical attack at Tapu Koko and, you know, roost up on Tapu Koko whenever it goes for anything. So yeah, Toxapex with the Gliscor is just menacing versus his team now. So he goes for the Brave Bird, that does nothing, and takes that nice recoil. And since Poison is going to start racking up, it is looking very good for me. He does not have an Earthquake switching as well anymore. So he goes for Iron Head, maybe hoping for some flinches, but that is not going to be enough. Plus, Poison will probably heal up all that damage that he just did to me. So down goes Tapu Koko, and with Tapu Koko gone, Toxapex is looking like a menace. So then comes Big Teddy over here. Snorlax still has a chance, though. When there's a Snorlax, there's a way. That's for sure. Of course, Snorlax. So I U-turn on him. I don't want to stay in on the Snorlax. Plus, I don't have too much to go for. Earthquake's not really going to do too much, especially when he starts cursing up. So that's why I went to my Toxapex. Maybe I can get a Toxic off if he's going to be like the Pinch Berry Curse set. Usually they don't have rest. So that's why I want to put that thing on a timer. But it turns out to be stockbound. I'm like, oh, okay then. So you probably expected me to want to go for a Haze right there. That's a smart play, but I went for Toxic. Like, I really just want to put that thing on a timer, for sure. But incoming Volcanion. So Volcanion putting on a timer is really nice for me. And plus, it has no more switches anymore since it goes down to Stealth Rock. So if he switches it out, he loses his Volcanion. So I think he's just going to stay in now. So I go to my Snorlax over here. As Snorlax is a risky play, I probably should have stayed in with my Toxapex. But I don't know. If he burned me right there, that kind of sucks, because then my Snorlax wouldn't do much to his Snorlax. But I guess I risked it for the biscuit. So I went for Curse right there, because I know his next turn he's going to go down to the Toxic. And yeah, Steam Eruption does not burn me, which is very, very nice. Very risky too, since if I got burned right there, that could actually kind of suck. But I guess at the same time, I do have rest on my Snorlax, so that's what I was banking for. And since he was stockpile Snorlax, I was like, what the heck is that going to be doing to my Snorlax? So I guess it wasn't the end of the world, to be honest. So he goes for stockpile. He's going to be faster since I cursed up. And then I bop him with that Z move. And pretty much it's going to be like a neutral attack, since I was +1 attack, he's +1 defense. And double-edged Z move, Breaking Blitz, is going to blow back his Big Teddy. And also I get a critical hit, which I don't think mattered, since, I mean, I'm a double-edged Z move, Adamant max attack Snorlax, so yeah. GG to Gamer+MZ, that was a pretty wild game as well. So pretty close games we got, pretty entertaining ones, I would say so myself. I like both of those games a lot. So hope you guys enjoyed as well. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, do your thing, and I guess the common question of the day is gonna be, I don't know, what's your favorite Spadefmon to run? I really like Tapu Bulu's special defense, just really, really good. Until you run into a poison move. Mega Alakazam, Hidden Power Poison. Keldeo, Hidden Power Poison. Watch out for those guys for sure, because they like to lure Tapu Bulu and just bop them. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, peace.